I'm at the Lincoln Woods Trailhead, which, as you can see, is a very popular trailhead for lots of different things from here. What I'm going to do is the Pemi Loop, which is a loop through the Pemigewasset, if I pronounce that right, wilderness. It's about a 31 or 32 mile loop, and it's a little after 1 p.m. And my plan today is just to get to a campsite that's like 6.5 miles from here, but we do have a couple peaks to summit, I believe. So I've got my parking pass paid for. I've got everything arranged here, and I got all my gear dried from Bromley this morning, and ready to get to walking. Okay, now that I'm away from all those people and still on this nice flat path that's easy to walk and talk. So the Pemi Loop is not like a trail called the Pemi Loop. The Pemi Loop is a collection of trails that make a circle in the Pemigewasset Wilderness area. So we're on this little trail by the parking lot. There's tons of people, as you can see, mostly swimming in this water. It's a warm day. It's in the 80s right now. However, where I'm going tonight, I think it's supposed to be in the 40s. So it'll get cooler. And then tomorrow, I think the high is probably where I'm going to be, maybe in the 50s or 60s. Down in town, I think it was only like 72. So I am very much looking forward to getting into the Whites. You know, obviously on my AT through hike, I hiked the whole Appalachian Trail through the Whites. And this loop will be on the AT for, I think, about 10 miles. And then it's going to be 22 miles-ish of trail that I've never done. So I'm looking forward to climbing some rugged New Hampshire mountains and seeing some beautiful views. And the highlight should be tomorrow, Franconia Ridge. If you watch my AT through hike, you know the beauty reduced me to tears. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And don't think I've mentioned yet, it's a Sunday afternoon, and I planned that intentionally because I did not want to be on Franconia on a weekend, and I wanted to be there hopefully when it's less crowded. I think most of the schools start this week at home, but there's a lot of kids up here, so I'm not sure if they start different times or just because it's the weekend. But I'm almost to the spot where I leave this flat, nice path and take, I think it's pronounced the Asio Trail. That's steep. This isn't good. It's 240. I haven't even made it to the first peak yet, and it's starting to rain. Clouds kind of got dark and gray. Knock on wood, I don't think it's gonna be like a storm. Hopefully it's a quick shower and it don't get too wet. There's no point in putting on rain gear because I'll just sweat it out from the inside and be wet either way. It's straight up because it looks like it because it is. This is chest high on me and just right in front of me. Another set of stairs up there and more rock scrambling. Okay, I climbed up all those other ladders. I'm here under a tree. I just had to put my rain jacket on. All of a sudden it just opened up with like hard, cold, icy rain. And I have like several more big flights of this stuff straight up. It's gonna probably be slick now that it's wet. I'm gonna probably put the camera away and may not get back out till camp unless it stops raining. That's the trail. That blaze is probably 8 feet above me. How's it, man? Alright, I'm up here on top of the flume. I'm gonna get somewhere out of this wind. Take a quick snack break. Sun's trying to come through up there, but it's mostly overcast and windy and thin air. I just stopped and had a snack break a couple minutes ago. Sat down for about 10 minutes. I did not realize how soaking wet I am. My shorts, my underwear, and my shirt are all pretty much wet. I think my socks are pretty damp. And it was actually blue skies above me when I sat down. And within 5 minutes, it was gray and started sprinkling again. So I put the raincoat back on and really hoping that I can get my tent set up before any more rain comes. Okay, so I actually just passed Mount Liberty. I think it's over there. But there was a snafu with the map. So I guess this is the trail. It's just a very narrow ledge. All right, I got down from that exposed peak up there. I think it's like less than 0.5 to the trail where this campsite is. But I do remember seeing it was off trail a bit. And I just talked to 2 hikers going the other way, and they said it was probably a good half mile off trail. So I thought I had a mile to go a while back. I guess I still got a mile to go, but that's okay. It's only like, I think, it's about 5 o'clock. I was just coming down back there, and it was kind of steep spot. There was a guy and 2 ladies. They had like tank tops and shorts on. They had no gear, no packs. 2 of them were carrying a bottle of water. The guy was carrying a dog, and had another dog with him. And the lady in the back seemed to be struggling and said, "Hey, we're almost there." And I said, "Well, I mean, there's some steep rock scrambles to get up there still." And I said, "Well, it's cold and wet up there and windy." And then as I was talking to her, my foot slid on the rock that I was on. And there was no stopping. It was like slow motion. My legs like went in a corkscrew motion as I just kind of went to sitting and put my shin right on the rocks. I can see bruises already starting. I think my ego was hurt more than my body. The ranger where I parked also warned me that there have been a lot of bear incidents around here. So there's a bear box though with this campground I'm going to. So I am actually on the AT now, going south down to this campsite. And then in the morning, I will have to turn around and come right back up. So it's like a steep 0.3 or 0.5 or something down this hill. I'll have to get water and camp. And in the morning, I'll have to come back up. And then from here for the next 10 or so miles, it's 80 miles. I haven't seen any white blazes yet. I've been looking. Okay, I've got a tent platform. I'm here at the campground. It's raining. It was starting to sprinkle as I set my tent up, but I don't have anything unpacked yet. I just jumped in here, got it set up so I could be dry. Problem is I can't eat in here because there's all these bear problems. So you have to eat like a good ways from here over by the bear boxes. There is a tarp that you can cook under, but I can't put on dry clothes yet and get all cleaned up because then I got to take all the stuff over there. So I haven't worked through how I'm going to do that yet. It is, I don't know, 6:15 and I'm freezing cold. I still have my wet clothes on. I still have shorts on, and the shorts are soaking wet because it's still like intermittently raining. I'm over here in this food area under this tarp, and then there are bear boxes behind me. So you have to eat here because of all the bear issues. So I'm gonna cook and eat here, leave all my smelly stuff here, and then go back to my tent and get my dry clothes on and get on my quilt. Problem is, it's gonna be like way before daylight. I mean, before dark. And that's gonna make for a long evening. That's where I ate dinner, sitting right there. My food is in that box there. I latched it. There's definitely several mice running around here. Hopefully they can't get in the box. I didn't see any holes in the box. So I'm gonna head back, put on some dry clothes and get in my tent. I don't know if I even said it earlier. I'm using my Big Agnes Tiger Wall because it's just a lot easier to put up on these tent platforms than my duplex. So this is home, and actually it looks like the sun's actually starting to come out a little bit there. I am a really bad camper. It is only 7:30. It should be daylight till probably 8 or 8:15, especially since it's clearing up and mostly blue skies. It'll probably be 8:15, so I probably have 45 minutes or so still of light. All the chores are done. I'm just have nothing to do. This is why, like when I'm through hiking, I like to have long days, do a lot of miles. I mean, you only really need time at camp to set up, cook, and go to bed at dark. This is it's too much time for me to be at camp. But since there's nothing else to do, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Good morning. Man, I miss saying that to this camera. I slept decently last night. A little bit of a hard time falling asleep. I stayed up listening to too many podcasts that I had downloaded. I probably didn't go to bed after 11. I went ahead and started climbing before I filmed this morning because there were some other people down there. I think there were 4 or 5 camped last night. The others were over by the breakfast area, huddled in quilts. I'm eating their food. I don't know if you can see here. These cameras never make it look like this. This is straight up still. I got about 2 miles till I get to Franconia Ridge. And then I'm looking forward to that. We got 3 pretty significant climbs today in total. I topped off on water because there's no water for, I don't know, like 6.5 or 7 miles. I'm carrying 2.5 liters. Usually I wouldn't carry that much for the mileage, but because of the ups and downs, and I'll probably have lunch before I get there because I don't know how much time I'll spend on Franconia. So anyway, it's been a pretty good morning. It's mid-40s probably, and the high today at the campsite I'm headed to is 55. So it's supposed to be clear and cool and sunny, which is perfect weather for hiking. So let's get to huffing and puffing and get the rest of the way up this climb. All right, I stopped and took my mid layer off. My shirt was damp when I put it on this morning from yesterday. I'm wearing my pants. I have my shorts that were soaked still from yesterday, tied on the back of my pack. But man, I was getting all wet with sweat. And as you can see, I still got some scrambling straight up. I got 0.3 still to go of the scrambling to get to the first peak of Franconia, a little haystack. As soon as I get up there, I'm gonna have to layer up again, I'm sure, but I'm trying to manage some of this sweat because all my clothes are getting wet, and that's no bueno. So it's cold just stopping here like this, but I'm gonna get to going, and I'll be back with you when I get up there. Look how steep that is. It's straight up. All right, first big views. So I'm pretty certain I came up over there and then ridge walked to here. You can see that's straight down. I remember on my through hike, I remember standing right here. I was here with the glue and Fonzie. And we sat here for a minute and just thought, wow, how incredible. We didn't realize that once we got up here a little more, it was like mind-blowing. All right, right ahead's Mount Lincoln. Mount Lafayette's on the other side. That's 0.7 from me. Galehead maybe? Sorry about the wind. That's south. I came from way down there and ridge walked and climbed up to here. I'm going to turn around facing north. There's clouds over granite cliffs. Yeah, I'm on Mount Lincoln now. Oh, I'm about to lose my hat. Lafayette's up there. That's the tallest peak in the Whites outside of the Presidential Traverse. And that's where we're going. Okay, I am 0.8 north and down the hill from Lafayette off Franconia Ridge. I didn't even try to talk up there. It was so windy and cold. I just took a couple videos and got out of there. There weren't many people. There was like a guy and his son who I passed. They're behind me now. And there was like a guy and two girls that were day hiking. That's all that was up there. On my through, there was a lot more people. And then I just stopped for 5 minutes or so and talked to a Sobo, the first through hiker I've seen, and talked to him for a little bit. It was a good chat. And I am ready for a snack break. I was going to stop up there, but it was too cold and windy. So when I get down a little more and find a nice spot in the sun, I'm gonna stop for a snack. When I remember the Whites, I think, it was tough, it was rugged. But man, it is so much more rugged and tougher than I remembered. Look at this behind me. This is, right here is probably level with my, well, you can't see, that's probably level with my head. That's 40 feet up. And on this camera, it doesn't look it, but it's straight up bouldering. It's crazy. It's fun, but it's crazy hard. Okay, summit of Garfield. Let's get up there and do a 360. That's Franconia Ridge. Wowza. It is 12:30, so I've hiked for like 5.5 hours, and it is lunchtime. There are two father-son duos. I passed them both once, and then they both passed me while I was sitting taking a snack break. I passed them both on this climb, but the one kid's playing music out loud, so I don't really want to be around them. So I thought about keep going, but I need lunch, and this is a good spot. So I'm gonna sit here. I got some of my stuff up on this old tower, drying. Got everything kind of spread out right here, and I'm gonna sit and eat and then keep going. I've made a friend. It was watching me over here, and I thought, it's coming back for more. I'm not giving him any more. I gotta have my lunch. Okay, give him one more. Just because it's so neat. Come here. I know, you're not supposed to do that. Okay, that's straight out. This is the trail, and this is the infamous spot where the trail is a waterfall normally. There's water, but nothing like it was in 2022 when I thru hiked. It was very treacherous then. Let's see if it stays this way or gets worse. All right, I'm mostly down that climb or descent. Right here, somewhere in this flattish area, is where I camped on my thru hike. It was a dispersed spot. It wasn't a great spot. But me and Fonzie and Groceries and Roadrunner camped somewhere right back over here. I don't know exactly where, but anyway, I remember we got there and set up. Groceries came in around dark. She'd been having a bad evening because that waterfall was so difficult. But anyway, I remember that's where we were. And there's supposed to be water, 0.1 up here. And I didn't get any. I could have got some of that waterfall, but there's supposed to be some down here. So I'm gonna get a little bit there to get me the rest of the way for the day. Still got one more big climb. We had 3 major climbs today. The first one was up Franconia Ridge. There's several little ones once you get up there, but I just counted it as one. And we had Garfield, and we get South Twin. The other thing, I think I may have called the hut by the wrong name off Lafayette. I think I said Galehead. I think it's like green tea, green leaf maybe? I don't know, something with a G. All right, so I didn't do any video in there at the hut because there were several people outside talking. I wasn't really intending to go there, but it's only, I don't know, 60, 70 yards off the trail. So I went and sat on a bench for a minute, ate some candy, filtered some water, and hopefully I get a second wind here soon. I've got 1,200 feet to climb in the next 0.8 miles. The far out map. The line kind of goes vertical. Oh, let's get up there. Okay, I've made it up on South Twin. This is the last major climb of the day. And man, it's beautiful. It's nice and warm and sunny and not very windy up here too. All right, I'm gonna say it. Physically, the AT is so much harder than the PCT and the AZT. I've only done 11.2 miles today, and I'm feeling a little tired. I have considered finishing the hike today, but that'd be hiking into the dark. But I think the last several miles are like on one of those flat paths along the river. So I'm probably not going to do that. I really want to stay out here 2 nights in tent camp and all that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and head to the Geo place. My watch died. I was trying to actually track a backpacking trip on my Garmin watch. I Normally don't backpack with it, but now I know why for sure. It died. I think I have about 2 more miles kind of downhill, a couple little rollers, and then I get off the AT and head to the Geo campsite, where I guess I'm going to go ahead and stay tonight, and then I'll finish up tomorrow. I'm going to sit here, though, for a few more minutes and just enjoy the view, and then I'm going to knock out the rest of the day. It is 5:45, and this afternoon or evening here has been lovely. I stayed up on South Twin for a while just because weather was so nice and it was just so quiet and peaceful. One other hiker got up there. He didn't stay 15 or 20 seconds, just kind of paused, looked around, and kept walking. So it's nice just to sit up on a peak in the good weather by myself, and I haven't seen hardly any hikers since then. Most everybody out here, one, it's Monday, so there's not as many people. Most people are day hiking, just going from like parking lots up and down these side trails. And I think mostly they're doing those in the morning, and then they're, back to the cars by afternoon. Or the people that are staying out here, not many are backpacking. Most that I've seen are just hiking hut to hut. So they have like day packs. 2 father and son duos, I haven't seen them in quite a while. And I've stopped several times. I think the one may have turned around and went back to that last campsite like 5 miles back. And the other one was just going to a hut. They're doing hut to hut. So, yeah, it's been a lovely evening. My time on the AT is almost done. I haven't looked at the map lately, but probably only 0.2 or so. And we'll be getting off the AT and heading on the Bond Cliff Trail. It's so still and quiet. It's awesome out here. Just popped out of the trees right there. I wasn't expecting this, but it's so weird. When I see things, I remember being here, who I was with, and everything. Somewhere right up here in these rocks, I think we sat in the rocks and had lunch. And a mother and daughter that was hiking south on the AT, that were YouTube, and I knew who they were, saw them there. And then the AT keeps on climbing. And I think that sign right there is where I'm gonna ditch the AT, but wow, how beautiful. Look at this thing. I'm gonna see if I can find somewhere to put my tent though. Good morning. I did not video much last night because I got down there to that campsite, which is a pretty long, rocky way straight down. I just came back up this morning. So when I got down there last night, all the tent platforms had tents on them. The shaman, the caretaker, was wearing, I don't know what he had on. It was like a karate outfit or I don't know, some kind of masseuse outfit. I don't know what he was wearing. He was an interesting fella, but he was nice enough. He's like, oh, we'll just have someone move their tent out of the way to reposition. I'm like, no, I wasn't gonna ask somebody to do that. So I slept in the shelter last night. We all had to cook and eat at one spot, and there's a lot of people there, so just didn't do much video. And the shelter was actually pretty quiet. There's only 6 of us in there, so like less than half full. I slept okay, and got up this morning. My routine was a little off, not being in my tent and not being able to like make coffee and that up where the sunrise was happening up on the porch. So I actually never even got any snacks or food out of my food bag, and I haven't had coffee yet. So I'm gonna hike just a little bit and find a spot and then sit down and have myself a a breakfast and make coffee and that probably. So the sign says I have 8.1 back to the trailhead, back where my car is. I thought it was supposed to be more than that. I did like 14 yesterday and about 6.5 the day before. That makes it 20.5. And I thought this route was supposed to be between 31 and 32. So I thought I had like 11 or 12 miles. And some guy was telling me something about the way out, and he was also talking in those terms. So I don't know if I have 8 miles or 12 miles to go, but I do know that once I get past Bond Cliff, which is only a couple miles from here, I think it's supposed to be mostly downhill, and then we'll get back to that flat river trail for some portion. So without any further ado, let's get to walking. All right, I'm up on Mount Bond. Wowza. Check this out. So this is Bond Cliffs. You can see, I'll zoom in a second. There's a trail. That's where I'm going. See that trail? We're gonna go all the way down that spine. I came from up on the top of there, that's Bond. Worked my way down through there, and it was pretty rocky. I'm over here starting up this spine now. Here we are on Bond Cliffs. Or Bond Cliff, I'm not sure if it was plural or not. Wowza, man. Okay, let's go to that one. It's straight down between us. We'll go around out there. I think we'll do a coffee and breakfast maybe. Man, what a glorious day to have this space by myself. All right, here I am. I've got some water heating up for coffee. I'm kind of sitting up against this rock, and I've got this beautiful view all around. So I'm gonna sit here and relax and have some coffee and eat some breakfast and just kind of soak in the experience, because this is the last cool thing on this hike, I think, because I should start descending soon and then just get that flattish trail along the river back to the car. So I'm gonna enjoy my coffee up here. I maybe even have 2 cups. All right, I did make that second cup of coffee, and I sat right here for about 40 minutes and just feeling grateful to be here. And as I was sitting here drinking my coffee, no one else has been up here the whole time. Haven't even heard any noises. Completely quiet out here in the backcountry. 360 views. And I was just sitting here thinking how full my heart feels and how happy I feel and content. And then I was thinking, when's the last time I felt like that? Arizona. I haven't felt this happy since I was on trail last. I mean, I guess it's good to have something so amazing in your life, but I'm not going to be able to do this very much for the next while. So that's kind of sad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've got a decent enough life at home. It's just, we are made to live these experiences. I like to work my body and be exhausted. And I haven't had a hot shower in 5 days. And I'm just sitting here thinking, man, I deserve a hot shower. And that's where I'm going.
But you know, we don't appreciate all that stuff that we have. All these conveniences like flushing toilets and daily hot showers, or sometimes multiple times a day. I don't know. It is just absolutely beautiful up here. I needed this trip, that's for sure. But let's go finish it up so I can get that hot shower. This is the direction I came from. It has been all downhill. However, the trail has still been pretty dang rugged. All right, we just made it back. Here's a sign that shows the Bottom Cliff Trail and Lincoln Woods Trail this way. I was thinking maybe there'd be a mile marker sign. But this is back to the rail trail that's just flat, as you can see behind me. And it should be that way all the way back to the parking lot. Now, there is no way that sign at the campsite, where was that? Geo campsite, saying that it was only 8.1 miles back to the parking lot was correct. You know, I had thought it was 12 or 13 based on how many miles I thought I had done. I've been walking for over 5 hours. I did take a 40-minute break on Bottom Cliff. But other than that, I've been moving pretty steadily. And if the scale on this map is correct, I think I have 5 or 6 miles still to go on this rail trail. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll be interested to see if there's another sign up here soon, given mileage. But either way, I think the hard work's behind us. And now we just get a nice stroll through the woods. Okay, so this sign should be the one where I cut off of this and started my loop. So this makes the loop complete, and now I just have to do the little lollipop stem of the loop back to the car. There we go. I think it's only like, I don't remember, 1.5 maybe? Okay, I think that's a wrap on the Pemi Loop. I'm right here at the edge of the parking lot, and it was a really great hike. I was really glad to be in the woods for a couple days. It's beautiful. I'm ready to go to town and shower. Ready to drink some kind of carbonation. I got some seltzer waters in the car. All in all, it took me like 47 and a half hours with both nights of camping. So, not bad. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna do some other adventures before I head home. I don't know what yet. I gotta figure that part out. So I think there's gonna be some more videos that come on that. But for now, thank you for joining me on the Pemi Loop, and I'll see y'all later.